Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in the bag, episode 171.
We are back. Normal cadence, normal episode, normal recording. We made it through.
Brad's feeling super normal.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's normal,
Perfectly
dude.
normal. Perfectly normal. Hey, what's got my spirits up though is what Robbie's referring to is I woke up this morning sick, but hey, we're not going to get out of like our normal rhythm. This is the first week back to the normal rhythm, and I was not about to reschedule. What has my spirits up though, Robbie, I didn't show you, but I'll have to show you. The warehouse is like, there's no pallets on the ground. There's no mystery boxes. I mean, there's still some stuff to do, but Eli actually came in yesterday and swept the floors for us. It's looking nice and tidy. And, it's starting to look a little normal again, which...
Because dismiss boxes are like out, right? That's like a package that you buy for, so it's like your own little advent thing.
Yeah.
It's gotta feel crazy to go through all of the insanity because guys, there's a lot of discs in there. I'm just going to tell you, there's more discs than you can comprehend when you're running an online retail business that is as large as the operation they run. But when you walk in, like when I go in my December or my like November visit, it's insane. Like even when I was there when the buzzes arrived that went in the boxes, and y'all like, it's crazy how many just discs are ordered. Cause you got to think like they're still doing a subscription box in December. They still did a subscription box in November. So those hundreds of boxes worth of discs, and there's 3 in each of them. So at least, I guess we have to say that now as a caveat, because we're just like, what if we just throw in a 4th this time? Because bang, why not? So it's a lot of Frisbees, y'all. A lot of discs.
It was a lot. I mean, but think of 12 Days of Discmas. We had all those boxes, and there's 12 discs in each of those. We had our Black Friday mystery, thousands, mind you, thousands of Black Friday mystery boxes. A large sum of subscription boxes, and that's just, and then we have to flux the inventory and kind of like, I'll order extra obviously for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas time, so we're probably carrying 20% more inventory than we normally would.
And the jerseys, like, I want that buzz, so they're like, I gotta buy a mystery box, and then I get something else thrown in there. Then you have merchant apparel, but we don't normally have in hand, but we had that. It's crazy, y'all. Crazy.
And I mean, I'll just say this: we had to hire some like seasonal workers. Some kids I know from the jiu-jitsu gym that are very hard workers. They're kids. They're 16, 17 years old, but to come in at night to just refresh our packing supplies. Like that's how busy we've been. We haven't been able to get to that during the day. So
that's wild.
But wild. No, but all that is not a complaint. It's a thank you to especially everyone listeners. That keeps us all running and up. Listen to this podcast, buying stuff from Robbie's store on Foundation, from In the Bag store, from just Foundation store, and I'll even say Atlas because so many bags went out, Robbie. Like I did the biggest order ever of the Pioneer that I thought would last us until like March. I'm about to place an order probably next week.
That's awesome.
It's the biggest order I've ever placed, and I'm gonna have to probably do the same, maybe double what I did. So
come on, guys, come on.
But that's all from you. Thank you all for all the support.
Well, guys, we're super grateful, and this season just reminds you of the. I had a friend, his name's Bo. He texted me, and he's trying to like ramp up. He's on Team MVP, trying to tour, and he's like ramping up his social media side of things. And he texted me yesterday and was like, hey, shot a video, and one of the biggest focuses of it was I was talking to the camera. And I just want to say, I underestimate what you guys do all the time. So for us, it's really fun from the content creation side, because for Brad and I, we get to look at each other during this when we're recording the podcast. But like when Jason and Brad are going to film Patreon videos for Foundation, they're just looking at a camera. Like they're looking at the phone, looking at the camera. I'm doing the same thing. So when the orders come through or people are tagging us, thank you to everyone who tagged us in. We were your Spotify Wrapped, like we were in your top 5 podcasts. That is, we do not take that lightly. No. And it feels really cool to sort of embrace this as we're talking to people instead of just the camera. So really, really grateful.
For sure, man. For sure.
Well, we got a lot of questions lined up. So let's go ahead and dive in from starting off with Anonymous. I have a 250-foot basket that wrecks me every single time
it's probably
I
because it's so
play
large.
it. That's a very large basket. That has to be a world record. Almost a football field. Imagine how much a chain weighs on a 250-foot. Do you think that the chains are proportional on this basket, or is it just same size chains? They're just running for 250 feet, and there's like a billion of them.
I'm picturing like Super Mario, like flaggy jump on the end of the level, and it's just like a super tall pole with a tiny basket at the top. That's what I'm picturing.
I like it. Dunkaroonies. So in Oregon, course is Wheatland, Willamette Mission, T-Pad 12. It's iconic shot on the course because the trees create a tunnel. 250 feet straight shot with a very low ceiling, 10 to 12 feet tall, the whole way to get to circle one. There's no over the top shot. You have to go up the gut. How do I conquer this hole and get the birdie? Love the pod. Y'all rock. Elvin. Oh, there it is. Sorry, it's not Anonymous. It's Elvin. Okay, 250 feet, low ceiling. I've got an idea, and it's not a good one.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking up the actual hole right now.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, because he did say look it up on UDisc. So that's a beautiful aspect of things. Hole 12.
All right, hole 12. Let's look here. Boom. Log in.
Yeah, my idea, because I have a hole, it's not 250 feet, but I have a hole that I changed a person's life, and I threw a shot, and they were like, that looks super easy. And now it's their whole identity is doing that. So, yeah, I have an idea, but I want to hear your thoughts. Low ceiling definitely makes this difficult. Yeah. Okay, boom. You can see it's like the main feature hole of the. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is that's a cool looking hole.
Yeah, it definitely.
I'm going to hold it up to my camera very loosely.
That's sick.
For a visual watcher.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Very cool.
This feels like straight out of Salem. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I love that. All right. So question is, sorry, I was really distracted on looking up the hole. Let's see. Very low ceiling. There's no way to go over the top, which makes sense now. You have to go up the gut. How do I conquer the basket and get a dang birdie? Elvin. So not Anonymous. This is Elvin.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the mistake I always make with a straight tunnel shot is I try to throw a straight disc. And what I mean by that is usually the discs, at least the ones that I carry, like my Hex, right? It's not as straight as I think it is, number one, especially if I like short arm it or don't throw it as hard, because it seems like if I'm throwing in a tunnel, especially 250 feet, it's not super long. I'm not going to throw it really hard, and it'll actually be more stable. And then I end up fading into like the danger zone on the left. What I typically like to do for a like this kind of low ceiling up the gut shot is I'll either try to throw a flip up forehand, which I'm trying to get better at, and probably like an approach disc that is not super overstable, because I can throw it hard, flip it up, and go kind of straight. But again, flare skipping is kind of the issue there. But I really love to throw like a understable putter and just try to do like a little baby Hyzer flip. And I'm throwing like probably my beat up NV that's very, 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 very flippy. And I know if I take some power off of it, it's just going to flip up and just kind of carry straight. And then that way it's not going to fade out a ton on me, and it's not going to turn over too much on me either. So I'm kind of trying to get that like flippy, very flippy putter, or even mid range if you really want to. But I'm throwing a very flippy NV easy on that one. I think, again, I think the tunnel effect also makes it like way longer of a hole than it is, so you're juicing it as well. And for me, throwing a putter is keeping me from like throwing it really high, because again, for whatever reason, my error for a faster disc is throwing it a little higher. So
Yeah.
you avoid that problem too. What do you think, Robbie? Are you punching like a juicy forehand straight up the gut on that one?
I like a forehand. I think the biggest thing about this hole in particular is that it opens up at the end. So I'm not worried about going too long. My biggest thing is just get out the gap. If I get out the gap, I've got to look, it seems like, which is priority number one. So my bad idea is I'm throwing a forehand roller.
Oh,
I am chucking a forehand roller straight down on the ground because I know that I can honestly throw a forehand roller pretty straight because I practiced it. That's not a shot that a lot of people can rock.
right.
And it seems like it's not pine, like it's not like pine needles or anything on the ground, or it's not like wood chips.
Yeah.
It seems like it's just crushed leaves from the billion trees that are down there.
Yeah.
So I think that you've got a pretty good chance of getting a forehand roller down there, especially the more you practice it. Once again, that's the bad idea because it's probably the reason I would go with that is I would be willing to bet that a decent forehand roller, I'm getting a par almost every time. I'm getting a birdie some of the times because if my forehand roller goes, like the thing about a forehand roller is it's very difficult to mess up a forehand roller for like the first, if you practice it for like the first 150 feet.
Right.
And if I'm 100 feet away, it did look like there are multiple openings once you get to the end. So even if it like veers off, I can hopefully like punch one out of the gap into the field is the goal. So forehand roller is the bad idea, but probably what I would be tempted to do, especially if we're having fun. But the other is I'm actually going to go in the same line as Brad, but I totally get the going to a faster disc causes height issues to come into play. For me, I'm going with a faster disc here because I think people are going to get trapped into it's 250 feet. That's a putter shot for people who throw like for lots of people. That's going to be a putter shot. For a majority of folks, that's probably going to be a mid range, and that's okay. The 250 feet is your mid range shot. Once again, we're not about shaming anyone here on the podcast. I would say whatever you feel like is your comfy 250 foot distance, think about going faster. So if normally your 250 feet distance is a 5-speed, go to a 7-speed or whatever it may be. The reason for that is because almost in the same vein that Brad's talking about of an easy, he's taking the ease in the flippiness of the disc. I'm taking the ease and the speed of the disc. So two different ways of attacking it, but really we're trying to accomplish the same thing.
Right.
So I'm saying go with a faster disc because once again, even if you juice it, the miss is long. Like we'd rather be 40 feet long on the basket and out in the open than 40 feet short of the basket. And then I'm still under the low ceiling and I'm having a hard time sort of jump putting to get the height out to the basket, if that makes any sense. So I rather push long, but I also, for me, when I disc up and I can throw slower because I'm not worried about like having to mush, like let's say Precious Child all the way down there, then that's where I'm able to focus a little more on the height. When I have to go full power, that's when my height issues really come into play. So that's why I would disc up. But Brad and I, that's why I love this, like the perspective of two different people, right? Is because we both attack it in different ways. And I think both are completely valid. Because once again, what we're trying to say is don't throw a full power shot to get out of this tunnel. Whatever your easy shot is, throw that and throw that distance. So realistically, pull out your shot that you know you can get 275-ish. And also remember, you can make a 20-foot putt. You can make a 10 to 15-foot putt. So if the hole's 250, we don't even have to throw it the whole 250. We can throw it 240. We can throw it 230. And I think that's where people are also underestimating it. Is like that would be my biggest argument for the putter is if I throw the putter, I know I'm going to land short because I'm going to throw it soft. So,
I'm looking at, I don't know if you saw, there's multiple pictures of this hole, Robbie. And there's one like in the fall, that very first one that you kind of showed. And then there's one in the spring. And I don't know which one is newer. Look at that sneaky forehand gap on the left. Do you see it?
Um.
It's like a couple pictures down. It's green. It's like in the spring or something.
Oh yeah, if you went like flex forehand through there,
Yeah.
or I guess you could even punch like a low forehand.
Mhm.
You probably could punch a bullet like straight, super fast forehand if you hit that gap, and it would probably flare out.
Yeah. I guess I just don't know which one's. I mean, is the first one the most recent? I'm guessing probably.
The first one was 2019. This one's 2021.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, because that one limb was kind of in the way in that first picture. Okay. Yeah. Sneaky forehand gap, but I might also punch a like forehand fox on this one.
Flip it up, let it ride straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad. Like I like a hyzer flip down a gap because I can fully commit to ripping a hyzer flip.
Yeah. So there's a couple options for you. Forehand roller, again, not something I would think about ever, but it makes a lot of sense, especially if you practice it. And if your goal is just trying to birdie this hole, then yeah, you just gotta get out of that gap. And I'm looking at, it looks like, I think you set up probably like 200 to the end of that gap, maybe
Yeah.
50 feet or so to the basket. So even if you can get close,
Yeah,
you got a shot.
Then I have it a little chip out and take a par, which I understand that you're saying the whole wrecks you. So, like you're trying to get the birdie, but that's where I look at like that is I don't know the rest of the course, but that feels like a hole that is one that I'm stoked to get the birdie on, but I'm completely content with a par every day of the week.
Yeah.
If I'm not playing an MPO, completely content with a par because the hole is difficult and people are going to mess it up. I'd be willing to bet, Elvin, that you say it wrecks you. You're probably not the only one. There are probably lots of people who go to shoot that gap. They go high, they hit a tree, and they get kicked like way left. So, Brad, do you want to jump in and do you want to do Cooper's question and Wyatt's question?
Yeah, sure. All right, so Cooper Rodman, not a question, but thank you. A few weeks ago, Brad and Jason answered my question about poor tournament play and competing for a win. I took some of the ideas and started putting them in place. I've seen some improvements already. I focus on a pre-shot routine and a putting routine, doing the same thing every single time to stay mentally engaged on the shot and the shot at hand. Another big thing I've been doing is relying on confidence discs to make and reset confidence. Thank you so much for your help. Okay, awesome, Cooper. Yeah, a couple weeks ago we talked about that. He's asking for some tips and tricks. He said he kind of basically falls apart a little bit if there's some pressure. And our advice to him was, you're going to have pressure situations, especially if you're playing well. There's not a lot of room per se to make that not happen. It's just going to happen, especially if you're someone who feels pressure. But I think this is like this, even if you're just playing with your buddies or you're trying to improve your score, you're playing in tournaments, just having and I think simple is better. A simple pre-shot routine, simple putting routine, so you're locked in and ready to go. I mean, in the putting league, that's not a non-pressure situation that we do every year or every week. And I will say, I took a bunch of mechanics out of my putt that I didn't need, and I've been putting way better. And it's really just like, okay, my feet are in the right spot. I'm aiming in the right spot, and I just tell myself, okay, when I need to push my putt all the way through, and I guess supinate is the word, and kind of like push my hand up. Yep. So and as long as I'm doing that, especially for 25 feet, like I'm making a lot of them, and I'm really focusing on 25 feet right now. But glad, and yeah, those confidence discs. I think that's the point that Jason made. Was there's just some discs that you're like, okay, maybe this is not the right disc for the hole per se, but I know it can do what I need it to do, and I know I can throw this disc the appropriate way. And just remind yourself that you're okay at disc golf and you can throw a disc. I think that's a good thing to have in your back pocket.
Yeah. Jason may be one of the best confidence discs players in the country. I'm just going to go ahead and say it because that guy will walk up, and there's just days I know where I would be terrified to face Jason. If I'm on like equal footing with Jason, I would be terrified to face Jason at a tough course like a New London or something, simply because if he steps up on the first hole and he throws one of his comfort discs and it goes really well, like he throws his origin well on hole one, congratulations, everyone. He's not going to throw another disc basically the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And he's just going to throw the same shot extremely well. So your only hope is that the hole doesn't work for that disc.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, he's just playing like straight golf. Like he's just throwing it right down the gut, putting it in the same spot, and it works extremely well. And I think it's why, like, every time Jason plays a lot of tournaments, and I feel like he's in the hunt on almost all of them because of that comfort level disc. I think we can all, but then you look at, even if you go to a higher skill player, I don't think this is offensive to Jason to say that, but like you look at Hunter when he finally broke 68. That MD3 was not the disc for several of the shots, but Hunter just couldn't do wrong when he threw that disc that day. So why not pick it up and keep throwing it? So yeah, comfort discs are the best.
All right, Wyatt. We did a putter only bag last week, spent a few weeks ago. Do a distance driver bag only. Recently hyperextended my finger so I can only fully grip faster drivers currently. Not as bad as it sounds. I putt and jump putt normally. Okay. Yikes. Sorry, Wyatt, on your
that's tough.
On your
that's
fingers.
Tough.
But I get it, as someone who regularly stoves his fingers and has swollen knuckles from things. I get it. All right, distance driver only bag. So are we doing 10 discs, or what do we want to do on this one?
I think 10 drivers is insanity.
Yes,
that is crazy, dog. So I was gonna say 5.
How about this? How about we each do 3 distance drivers that we say you definitely should throw? How about that?
Okay. Yeah. And then 3 distance drivers, and we're qualifying distance drivers because this is a poor qualifier as
10 and above.
10 and above. Okay, that was the breaking point, right?
See, to me, really 9 and 10 are kind of like that gray area of like, I think control drivers are a thing.
Okay, so can we go 3 and 3, but we have a universally agreed upon trail?
Yeah, because I was going to recommend the trail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So 4.
That's because that's if we were including 10, suddenly it's like I have to put the trail in there. So it's 10 and above. But congratulations, the trail's in this bag. Why is the trail in the bag? I don't know. I like to score well.
Yeah.
Is that a problem?
It goes so far.
So far.
All right.
I'll tell you, Brad. Next week, I think it's next week. Next Thursday. The world is not ready for the rage bait that is in my video.
Oh, no.
And it's top 5 discs that are not worth.
Oh. Uh-oh.
And like, people are like, not worth what? The money, the hype, the what? And I'm like,
yes. All of
not
the
worth.
Things. Yeah.
So it's, but I end up in the video, I end up being a hype man for the disc. I'm like, here's why I think people love it. Spoiler alert, the Berg is on the list. You know the Berg's on the list. Yeah. It's going to be on the list. But I spend several minutes hyping up the Berg and doing all that. So that way people can clip me saying positive things about all of those discs before I give my reasons on why I think it's not worth. But the trail is one. I threw that question out to my Discord and the Birdie fam. And that Patreon community had a ball with it. And the trail was on several people's lists for not worth. And I was like,
really? Okay.
Touche.
Wow.
Touche.
I'm sorry they don't know a good disc.
It's tough. It hurt my soul for everyone that said it, but you know what? I get it. Okay. So first disc in the draft.
All right.
I guess second disc in the draft. The trail went first pick overall.
Yeah. Right. Second for me is going to be the Grace.
Okay. Yeah.
I just think it's like for me, it's a really nice compliment to the trail. Because
a little more overstable.
Yeah. And I still can turn it a little bit, but it will fade. So even if I mess up and pull a little to the right or pull a little on Annie, it's still going to be really reliable for me, which I'm really thankful for. So definitely Grace is going to be on the list for me.
Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and say the older brother to the Grace, which is the Wraith. We knew that one was coming from me. Yes. Here's why I love the Wraith. The Wraith is 1 billion years old. You can find every run of Wraith you possibly want. You want really overstable? Congratulations. You're throwing a Halo Wraith. You want really understable? Congratulations. Go find a G-Star. Go find a Blizzard. Like those exist, and you could bag just Wraiths and have every shot in your distance driver category covered.
Right.
But we're going to put the Wraith in there as the chameleon that's going to slot basically wherever we need it to. based on what we don't have. So right now we have like a really straight flyer in the trail. We have a straight flyer with a little fade in the Grace. Where are we going next, Brad?
So this is where I'm kind of like torn a little bit. Part of me wants to say the vanilla.
Little clash.
But you know a disc that I think is really underrated. The Jade.
The Jade is so good. I will say that I think the Jade may be illegal here because the Jade may be a 9-speed. But it is.
Well, Jade or Sapphire, they're both really good. And
the Sapphire's a 10-speed. That I can guarantee.
That's what I'm picking. Either one of those great discs. I have a diamond back in the bag. A diamond back in the bag.
Let's 9.6 minus 2.1 for the Jade.
Okay, let's go Sapphire.
Yeah, Sapphire's great as a great turnover option. I will say my wife has a filthy forehand, and her forehand disc is the Sapphire because she doesn't like have to hit it super hard. Another thing for our ladies out there is that they have like nicer nails. It gets really hard to like power like grip a disc, so they end up fan gripping a lot of discs. So forehand works really well, and yeah, Sapphire, it's money. Okay, so I'll grab our really overstable option.
Okay.
People are gonna hate this. They're gonna hate this. I'm going the Castoplast Rask.
Oh.
Double rim, baby.
Wow.
Give me the double rim. Super overstable, like silly overstable. We don't need any more beef in the bag. This thing has it covered. Has one of the greatest in uniqueness hand feels you're ever going to find. If you've never held a Rask before, congratulations. You are going to love it, or you are going to want to remove your fingers. Like there is no in between. It's a wild, but I'm in a spicy mood for bag building today, Brad.
That is not what I expected at all.
We're going Rask. Give me the Rask.
Wow.
You threw out the idea of Clash, so I was like, I gotta go with something wild here.
Yeah, that's wild for sure. Wow, I did not see that coming. That kind of makes me a little sick. Although maybe that's just how I feel in general today. So I think for me, I feel like this disc is extremely underrated and it gets so much hate. And I don't know why, because every time I throw one, I'm like, why don't I bag this disc? The Thrasher.
Yeah, it does get a lot of hate. And it does balance really well. I think the Thrasher sits really beautifully between, especially if we got like a lightweight Thrasher, I think that could sit between the Trail and the Sapphire really comfortably.
Yeah, because I think its flight numbers are like 11.5, -3.2 or something very similar, or maybe it's 12. I think it's 12.
Yeah.
I like it I used to throw it on forehand all the time, all the time, because I have a Hyzer release on forehand. It would flip up and turn, but it still like would hold and not burn over as long as I didn't do something silly, and still had fade. Like -3.2, I think is really accurate for that disc.
Yeah.
Depends on which one you get, right? And now they have glow ones.
Totally. Oh, yeah. And Missy Gannon. Hey, talk about a passionate argument. If you've not listened to this week's Grip Locked, I thought Hunter was going to come through the disc on his passion over Missy Gannon not winning Player of the Year this year.
Wow.
It as someone who talks to Hunter on basically a daily basis, Brad, you just got to go to that section of the podcast, and you've experienced everyone who is in Hunter's life. We've experienced that level of passion before in some debate or something we've ever had with him before. I don't think that it comes across on the internet too often. Yeah. It was wild. It was awesome. It was awesome. I'm not even saying that out of a like, ooh,
yeah,
it was awesome.
I might have to just wait until next week. I'm still like a little sick from Puzzlegate after dealing with all of the Puzzlegate.
Oh, dude,
that was a lot.
We didn't even talk about the live stream, man. How much did you end up walking away with?
$0.
Were you the one that found the zero?
Yes. Yeah. I left at 3:30 a.m.
Oh, because Hunter went right before you.
I dove and let several people go, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, because Hunter put I think it was like $25 or whatever in Connor's envelope.
Yeah.
And I was so like tired from the day. I walked out. I'm like, wait, there's Hunter's and Brody's in my envelope, and there's nothing. And I open the case. There's nothing. I'm like, wait, what happened? In my mind, sorry, this is a sidetrack from like actual in the bag, but in my mind, he did the Hunter thing where he found a like loophole in the rules. I thought, because no one directly said you had to open the case. They said go out and open the case. They didn't say you must open the case.
Yeah.
So I thought he just went out and didn't open the case as a meme just to make sure we're
card
still
game.
in
It's a May trigger.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just like, oh. And then I felt really dumb after it. But yeah, $0. It was a good time. Had a lot of fun.
It was a great stream. I really enjoyed it.
The world got to see me grapple Silas, so that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I was here for it. Also, congrats to Tyler on his honeymoon funds.
He is a villain.
You know what? All of us who've gotten married, imagine if literally like, because he gets married next week, something like that. Like it's pretty soon.
Yeah, it's soon.
And so imagine if someone walked up to you the week or two before your honeymoon and they were like, "Hey, here's 600 extra bucks."
Yeah. Oh, taking it all day.
100%.
Yeah.
We're going on an excursion now. Thank you, Foundation.
Well, to be fair, I'm not and was not going to be mad of anybody if they took the whole thing, because
that's the game.
It's a game. And then when we're out of the game, we're back to normal life. It's a game.
I was spamming Jason so much when he walked out. I was like, bro, take it all.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I thought it would take 500, but
yeah.
So I don't know.
He's just too honorable of a person.
Yeah.
I love it. Love that guy. Okay. Last disc for, no, I can't say that because it's the same disc. I was going to put a Lone Star disc in there, Brad.
Oh,
That's
don't do that.
That's where we're at today.
Don't do that.
No, I'm going to go company we don't have represented.
Go Oblivion.
Yet.
Do Oblivion by Doomsday.
I wish and once again, Oblivion, if you're listening or someone listens to Oblivion, if you want to send me a package of discs that says like, here's what they are, I will gladly try them out. I don't know what they do because
we care. I mean, I listen to everyone's feedback. We have Oblivions from Doomsday on our site. So I'm willing to carry the discs if people want them. Like I have no qualms against Doomsday other than they make me sad. That's all I've ever said.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go with, to round it out, newly rebranded. I'm going with the General.
Interesting. I hate that disc.
But have you felt the Supreme Generals? Like, I don't know if y'all ordered
I ordered
not.
some. I don't know if I felt them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it feels really good. And you can buy them at like normal disc prices now.
That's helpful.
Which I think from the retail side and really everyone's side, that was our big frustration. Like I own 2 Generals. I have one because I tried it out when we got them because we were like, we need to put videos out that talk about this $30 disc because we need to sell these $30 discs.
Yeah.
And I think all of us who filmed with them were like,
yeah, they're okay.
It's not a $30 disc. The Ricky tax is too much. But then the other one is our local shop shut down basically. And so they were going like 50% off minimum on inventory. So we were walking in and we were like, now the General is a $16 disc. That's a banger. So,
how is it compared to the Enforcer? Because I know you love the Enforcer.
Not as overstable. It seems like it would be, but yeah, no, the Enforcer and the Defender both are more overstable than the General. The General says 12404, no shot, dude. I think it flies very similar to what people think a destroyer, like what your stock destroyer should fly like. Yeah, that's what a General flies like in my mind.
Oh, okay.
Which gives us room with that Wraith now to kind of fill whatever gaps we need. So there's your bag for you, Drew or Wyatt.
Yeah.
Distance drivers only. Yeah. If I had that bag, I'm probably still just throwing the trail a billion times.
Yeah.
Even though I have those options, but that's because I just really love the trail. And it's a great time. So Drew, really hoping this could be a fun one for y'all.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
Hold on, Drew. We're coming back. Because this is another bag builder. I realize the first 3 were left over from a previous episode, so we can't go 2 bag builders back to back. That's insanity, guys. So TJ, Drew, don't worry. We see you. We feel back. You. We'll come to you next week at minimum. Yeah. Maybe this episode, but probably next week. So TJ, hey guys, trying to figure out if I should go with a yeah. Hi TJ, nice to meet you. I shot a video for another channel, Brad, and I walked in and I was like, you don't know me, but I'm Robbie. And then I spun over to the side and I was like, hi, nice to meet you. So here we are.
Yeah, that's funny. That's a good time.
For it. Trying to figure out if I want to go with a spush putt or a spin putt. I don't know if you meant to say spush or if you just put an S in front of push, or maybe you did say spush because that is also, a nice little hybrid. Anyways, my spin putt is now noticeably more accurate, going from around 50 to 70% from 25 feet compared to the spush. The only problem with the spinner is that after an hour of practice, I'm start having some slight elbow discomfort. Nothing major, it goes away pretty quickly, but something I'm just keeping an eye on. The soreness is not present in the spush, but my arm swing is more complicated and my accuracy takes a hit from it. Guess my question is it normal to have elbow soreness from long periods of putting, especially spin putting, or is there some issue that in my form is causing it? Thanks, gents. I definitely have thoughts here, and I actually have a pro tour example of this. If you want me to dive into this.
Yeah, please do, because I only have like some very generic, basic comments on that.
Yeah, so she was, if she wasn't Rookie of the Year, she was certainly on the ballot to be Rookie of the Year several years ago, named Stacy Ronsley. Stacy came on the scene because she threw super far. Especially she was an athlete. She came from an athletic background. I want to say that she entered, what's that?
Field hockey?
It's probably something like that.
Or basketball?
Yeah, I can't remember because there was a couple that came on the scene around the same time. She came on around the same time as Holland Hanley.
Yeah.
So both athletes, and I would say that Stacy started off by throwing way farther than Holland and also had a nasty forehand when she started. Stacy is from Indiana. Let's go. Shout out Hazel. But I got to play with Stacy. She's fantastic. So Stacy comes out here and she started having elbow issues while she putted. And it got really frustrating because she found that, especially on tour, you need to be practicing your putting. But she was having discomfort in the elbow. What ends up happening is over time, she didn't feel confident continuing to practice putting because it was causing her discomfort, which then caused her putting to take a hit. And so she just ended up in this catch-22 of, I cannot get better in this aspect because it leads to pain, but like I have to because I need the practice. So I would say it is 100% a form issue usually that is causing people to have some form of elbow discomfort. There are plenty of people, obviously, who are spin putters who do not have discomfort. One of the big things is just a lot of, if you're getting the discomfort, it's probably a lot of like the twisting. I'm not a PT though. So I would talk to a PT about that and show them the motion, because having 2 PTs in the family, there's several things that I'll show them that I'm like, hey, this I think is causing this. And they're like, absolutely not. This is actually what's causing it. And they walk me through it all. So PTs are really smart. They have degrees for a reason. So let's go see them. But yeah, so I would check on that. In terms of your spush putt being less accurate, I'm just going to quote you in that your spin putt's more accurate, going from around 50 to 70% from 25 feet. It improved. So if you give time for your spush putt, it's also going to improve. Yeah. Right now, if you're living between 2 worlds, neither of them are going to be at their best capacity. And if you can practice for an hour a day with your spush putt and it's not hurting, I can guarantee you're going to see that increase and improve over time. So personally, I would go with the one that doesn't hurt, because then you're encouraged to practice, and also knowing that with a little bit of practice, you're just going to get better over time. I had a student who I had a lesson this week, and we changed. He was doing a certain power lever for his putt, and I was like, that's great power, but it's super inaccurate. So we changed it, and he literally asked me, like, how is the disc supposed to get to the basket from there? And I was like, Well, it does. I promise you. So I showed him inside the house, and he was like, "Oh," and I said, "But I've been doing this for years, so it's going to take some time, take some adjustments." So I think that's where with putting, when you change something in your form in driving, and Brad, you can tell me if this is real or not. When you change something in your form of driving, there's inaccuracy, but you're still going to find success, and especially even if I'm like inaccurate, most of the time I'm making changes to my form to add power. So if it's inaccurate, I'm still kind of stoked because I just crushed that disc.
Right.
When I make changes in my putting, it just does nothing but terror while I'm trying to change it on the course because I still have to finish the hole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I had a bit of a meltdown on the putting league this week because I was just so tired of missing the basket. So it's way more frustrating with putting. I'm done with the Ricos. Ricos are out in a few weeks. They're gone.
Are you doing another bracket next year,
nope,
or
I want to be
joining Hunter and the Picadone?
Yep, I'm gonna be good at putting this year. Well, that used to be my best part of my game, and then I just started putting with random stuff. Going back to the Roach, we're gonna Roach gang again.
Let's go. Come on.
But yeah, no, I think my only comment for TJ was, feels like it might be a strength issue too. So it might be something you look into, again, talk to a PT or talk to someone who's a exercise therapist or something like that can guide you on like, hey, this is where I'm feeling the pain. Do you think I'm guessing if it's not like immense pain, you're not really hurting anything, but you're definitely exhausting it to the point that it is causing pain. So maybe there's even just some small like resistance band training or something you could do like that to maybe even strengthen that up if you desire to be that spin putter. I'm also guessing, this is not just for disc golf, but any sort of physical activity. It seems like anytime you allow your body to the energy transfer to hit a wall is when injury is happening versus allowing the energy of emotion to carry through and exit your body, if that makes sense. So, for example, if you jump like off of something, again, don't do this, but if you jump off of something and just land on your feet, you can probably break bones. All the transfer of the energy is just stopping. That's why people like roll out of things and they don't get hurt because they're transferring the energy out a different way. So I'm thinking like your spin putt, you're like snapping super hard and your energy is like smacking a wall. It's not carrying through your disc into the basket. Also just a very out there kind of guess.
Yeah. I like that idea of the strength training though, that's something that we even have talked about, like with, in my stuff was, Blitz had me doing like shoulder hangs to try to increase everything because he was like, if we got to increase the strength of the elbow and the shoulder because there's a possibility that you cannot get to these angles and positions because your body's just it doesn't feel, it's not that it's not capable. It doesn't feel safe to do a motion with that.
Right.
So, yeah. Christopher, hey fellas, first things first, love the content.
Thanks,
we love you, Christopher. I met Robbie at USDC last year. Thanks for inking my badge. You're welcome, my man. I was recently back home in Florida and discovered a course that was only put in sometime in 2020. I've been in South Carolina since then and never played it. Been playing for just under 2 years, and I maxed out at 300 feet, right hand backhand with a Leopard 3 and a Heat. Okay. I nicknamed my forehand Oscar because it also belongs in the trash. I love that. That's so funny. Good. So the course is Holloway Park, hole 17, a whopping 1,000 feet from the long tee, shapes roughly like a crescent moon with a tight fairway. With his limited bag at the time, it consisted of a Leopard 3, an Atlas, a River, an It, a Pure, a Rhino, a Crave, and a Gator 3. Because when you're around Florida Gators, you got to throw the Gators. He threw the It multiple times to get there for the easy bogey. My question is, out of the bag, what would either of you throw? Thanks again for the community content. So I'm going to assume that this crescent moon shape, Brad, is a crescent moon, right?
Yeah.
Based on the fact that he's talking about how his forehand is not great.
All right, if you look up Holloway Park, they have a T sign of the shape of this.
Okay, so does it go left or right?
So I would call this like a really lazy snake, to be honest with you. I would not describe this as crescent moon. Looks like it goes pretty straight, maybe fading a little to the right for about a third of the hole, then kind of cuts really sharp to the left for about another third of the hole, and then kind of cuts back to like a reverse C shape ish for the remaining third. So I would not describe this as crescent moon in any way, if I'm being honest.
I'm digging. So you tell me based on looking at his bag, because I'll tell you the first thing that I'm doing is I'm grabbing your Leopard 3 and I'm throwing it straight into the water.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think we need that. Yeah, I think get rid of that. Try a trail. We're on the trail. Maybe we should do an in the bag trail, Robbie. Comment below. Do you want to see an in the bag trail? We can do one. But I think it's just me and Robbie's head really big on it. That's what I think. So yeah, I mean, to me the shape, because I mean it's a long hole, so we definitely need to cut this up into pieces. I think the first section, you need to throw something that's going to go straight and kind of baby fade to the right. So that looks like maybe the first 350 feet. So I think, so we're using his bag.
Yeah, you're using Leopard 3, Atlas, River, Pure, Rhino, Crave, Gator 3.
I'm thinking probably Crave.
I think the Crave is not a bad pick.
Because it's going to probably, with 300 feet of power, probably go pretty straight, probably turn a little bit. And even if it starts fading back, I think you have to be really careful because, again, the shape of this hole, your second shot, you're going to have to have something that aggressively fades. And I just don't think that's good news. I think you want to land right. So I'm thinking Crave. And if you land more to the right, I think you throw another Crave. Because it looks like there's two trees you're trying to get in between. So you want to fade back to the right. So I think Crave, 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 Crave. And then tap in.
Yeah, I think I'm going, my plan is maybe a little, my difference is I think I'm going River off the tee on just a boatload of Hyzer. I'm going to throw that thing on Hyzer and hope that it stands up to flat and just fades, goes really straight for a long time. And I threw it on so much Hyzer that at the end of its flight, it's going to fall to the left. Looking at the discs, I think that the River is my best shot at Hyzer flip that's actually going to flip and then fade again. I feel like Craves, when I throw them on Hyzers, they either hold that Hyzer the whole time or they'll stand up and then turn. I feel like Craves very rarely.
See, I feel that with the River. I've never thrown a River that turns easy.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. I don't need it to turn. Honestly, my hope is that it doesn't turn. My hope is that it flips up, holds really straight, and then falls.
So I looked at I don't know if you're looking at the UDisc pictures, but there's one further down of the actual hole, not just the T sign, and there's a whole nother route that's not on this T sign. So there's a cutout, and this may be where the crescent moon shape is coming into play here, because there's a whole cutout to the left. Yeah. So I wonder if you can go all the way around and kind of up that channel of trees. So in that case, I don't know if it changes other than where your landing zone. I want to land to the left now instead of the right.
Yeah, I think that gives me comfort in throwing my Hyzer flip River shot anyways, because if it fades too much, then it's fine. And then I think I'm going off the tee, or I'm going for my second shot because I want that turnover.
Yeah. Right.
The entire time and know that it's just going to hold into the turnover. And then my hope would be if I go, and I'm throwing the fairways mostly because I'm okay, if I can throw a River 300 feet, if I can throw the 300 feet turnover, and then I grab that Crave, and the Crave, I'm also throwing on a silly amount of Hyzer because I do not expect it to even stand up all the way. and then fade, like basically pushing Hyzer the whole rest of the way into that green.
Yeah.
And then whatever I have left, probably throwing the Rhino or the Gator 3 as an approach into the green.
Yeah.
That would be my play.
Yeah, I think I like that better because again, seeing the hole now a little bit more. Definitely, I definitely agree with your play on like the river and landing over there, and you can kind of see in the background where that tree line comes into play. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, the Craves are. Spoiler alert! You're going to learn another disc on the list is the Crave, and I understand why people that are not worth, because I think people love the Crave. The Crave to me ends up, my biggest critique with the Crave is that I think it makes people make some really bad bag decisions because the Crave can't really decide what it wants to do.
Yeah.
So it's just an incredibly neutral disc. So they fall in love with this Crave early on, but then they hold that same Crave too long. So then it becomes too flippy or whatever it may be. So I'm going to throw the Crave, assuming it is. I'm just going to throw it on steep Hyzer and pray that it never stands up.
Yeah.
I want it to be, because it is, of the options you picked that you have in your bag, Christopher, without a doubt, the Rhino and the Gator are the most overstable options you have, but they're both putters and mids. So of your remaining options, I guess you could throw the Atlas, but I mean, that's a huck of an Atlas to throw at 320.
I don't like that.
And also the Atlas is pretty neutral as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the Crave is the most overstable option you have in that limited bag. So I just need it to be overstable. Andrew, you want to do Andrew for our last one?
Yeah. And we'll carry it to next episode. We hear you.
Yeah. You'll be at the top of the list for 172. Fastest disc he currently bags is a Discraft Cicada.
Great disc.
Shout out, baby.
Great disc.
Love that disc. During rounds, I'm consistently throwing at 275 plus and started hitting 300 feet on occasions.
Nice.
Should I be looking to add a faster disc to my bag? If so, what recommendations do you have? Thank you, Andrew.
See, this is, and again, I don't know if my opinion is right here, but what are you adding distance drivers at this point where you're starting to gain distance? I think is the wrong move, because it seems like you're locking in, you're getting a hang for your form, you're actually throwing. Once you start throwing that 300 mark, you're a lot of holes become really attackable for birdie, a lot of holes.
Yeah.
So I think all you're going to do at this point is, because I mean, Robbie, how far do you throw Cicada? 350 plus?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not the disc that's limiting your distance. It's now your form and practice. So I say if you're loving it, you're feeling good, you're throwing consistently. Consistency is the key here, and starting to hit around 300. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't add another variable in that you don't need to. There's no reason. Just because you're adding a distance driver does not mean you're going to throw further. And just because you're starting to throw further with your Cicada does not mean you can pull a destroyer out and start just yamming a destroyer. What it's probably going to do is make you throw it really hard, destroy any work you're doing with your form, and set you back, I would guess. And then you're going to make wrong decisions on, should I throw the Cicada or should I throw the destroyer, for instance here?
Yeah, if I were saying, do you need to add another disc to your bag, Andrew? I would say, what other 7 speeds do you need to add? So if the Cicada, what's the Cicada doing for you to get that 275/300? Is it flying really straight the whole time and then fading? Well, then maybe let's look at getting something that has a little more turn to it, like what is the MVP one that is
Signal?
No, it's
Servo?
a 7.5 - 2.1. Goodness, it's just came out 2 or 3 years ago, but it's very Discraft Sting-esque.
Rhythm?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, maybe a Rhythm, or you jump over to a -3.1, like an Ozone or something. Because I'd wonder if you put a Trash Panda Ozone in your bag and threw it on Hyzer, would you get some sneaky good distance? And that's an 8-speed.
Yeah.
So but I have it so classified as a 7-speed in my head that it wasn't until it came out of my mouth that I realized, oh, wait a minute, that's a little tick faster. But I would say, what range can you add on the 7 speeds versus, like Brad said, moving up to the natural thought is, if I can throw this disc blank distance, then I can throw that disc even more. And it just isn't always the translation. Even when you look at the top dogs in the game, I will die on this hill that Paul Macbeth for the longest time said the farthest flying disc in his bag was an Onyx, which is a 10 speed.
Or 10, sorry. Yeah.
So like that guy, like that is his farthest flying disc. And you're telling me Paul Macbeth doesn't have the arm to throw forces and nukes and all of that? No, of course he does. But it's just finding that disc that matches where you feel comfortable throwing and what you want to throw. So
yeah, it matches your style. So to build a foundation on the 7-speed category, again, if you want something a little bit more overstable, then there's a Sagara, like jump over there. I mean, you have the FD in that class of discs. You have the T-Bird. You have like all the Edug, which I love the Edug. So you have a lot of really good discs. That's an area where there's a lot. The Jackalop's an 8-speed, but you have a lot of options in that category that you don't need to go any higher. Not now. If you're like, hey, I'm smashing my
You could even jump up to a 9-speed with the Jade that got mentioned earlier.
Right. True. Great disc.
That's like, that's doable. A Diamond you can check out. Like there are just, a ton of options to flesh out that category. If you were to like, put me to the cooker, all right, here's the pressure. What distance should you be throwing till you consider something faster? 325. I think you should be able to hit 325 consistently with those fairways before you start considering. And that's not 325 in a tailwind with it's like I'm stepping up to a 325 foot hole and I know I can get there with my fairway driver.
Yeah, because depending on the day, again, coming back to the like full circle on the conversation at the beginning, like my FD is a confidence disc, and if I'm not throwing great that particular day, I'm going to my FD for a distance, quote unquote, distance driver shot, because I can throw it really far. I know how it flies and I feel confident with it. So if I'm not throwing my Gracewell or my trail, I'll go down to there, and on any given day I can throw my FD farther than any of those other discs, or as far. So
that's where Cicada is for me right now. Is I know if things are going south, just throw my Cicada on a ton of Hyzer,
right,
and watch it rip. So yeah, it's finding that comfort for you and enjoying it. So Andrew, appreciate the question, man. That is going to wrap up questions for the day. So Brad, that brings us to everyone's favorite segment. What's new in the warehouse?
Hey, not a lot. It's that time of year, folks. Things start settle down for about a month, and then boom, January comes around, and then we start seeing some stuff pop off. So right now for this week, we do have some Climo discs releasing, including these beautiful special edition Osprey, which is, speaking of 10 speeds from earlier, that's a disc I might have to put in my bag, Robbie.
Okay.
It feels amazing. It feels kind of like a Vulture, but under an understable version of that. So
fascinating.
I think it's like 10.6 -3.1. But I mean, they're beautiful. They're like pearly glitter. It's insane. So check out those. I think the trophy or champ line Skyways came out. There's a couple new, and then we also get some of the Iron Leaf Bel Airs, which look very cool. So if you're give Climo discs a chance, they have a lot of good molds, and they feel incredible. It's like, if you know any old heads that like are Ken Climo people or respect him, I respect him just because he was one of the OGs, right? And it's like, if you like Discraft, but you want Ken Climo having a say in all the manufacturing process and what the discs feel like and look like, then that's for you. So
that's for you.
Even if you're an Innova person, like an older Innova person, give it a try. Also, a weird drop this week, Robbie. They're dropping on Sunday and Monday, which never happened. Yeah. There's K3 Ricos, but they're I think a 10-year anniversary edition. They're like this very cool forest green with gold. But those drop on Sunday. And then Monday is the Glow Malm as well. So they went crazy. I don't know what was happening there, but there's like, maybe it's just like they're dropping them then to make sure they get out before Christmas, possibly. Maybe that's the play that I didn't think about.
Yeah, like this is probably the last possible day for most people for you to order this disc and get it by Christmas. Has to be.
Yeah. Oh, and the K4 Glow Sten also is dropping on Monday.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, Robbie just threw up.
The Sten is one of the as a lid lover, it is the most unique lid on the market. K4 plastic there is not another plastic on the market that feels like it. Mm-mm. And if there was ever a disc, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm going to tell you foundation care will change your life, throw a Sten on there.
Yeah.
Like that is the perfect foundation care disc, because you're going to buy it and you're either going to love it or you're going to say, hey, I'm getting another disc.
Yeah.
I cannot, we haven't talked about foundation care in quite some time. You need to use it.
Yeah. Try some new stuff, especially Christmas time. If you're looking for discs for people that you love and care about, or you're putting them on your list, like, don't be afraid. We got your back. Try out some new stuff. You'll probably love it. And if you don't, we'll make sure you get something that you love. Pretty easy. Yeah. I will say we still have Halix and Fossil protos on the site. You're getting yours today, Robbie, from Jason.
I am. Yeah.
I'm very curious what you think of the Fossil.
I'm excited for this like protoplastic, because I threw like one of the early baseline ones. And I think these are also baseline.
I mean, I'll be honest, this feels like our Pro.
Yeah, I'm excited. The Fossil was a disc that I'm really curious, because Bob texted me 2 days ago and was like, hey man, why don't I have your address? And I was like, I don't know, Bob, why do you need my address? Like, your people have my address.
Yeah.
And he's like, give me your address and I'll get something to you. I was like, I don't know what that means, Bob.
Yeah.
So I'll update you guys when I get the package. What's getting sent. But no, the Fossil is incredible. I do butcher block battles, which are like comparisons to pigs. I do those all the time. And the Fossil was the most promising battle that I've had in quite some time.
I'll give a little teaser also. Our December sub box is going to be great. I'm very excited about it. I'll tease one of the custom stamps. This is going to be in every box.
It's so good, y'all. It's so good. So the custom stamps bang for this month's box.
Yeah. So this is going to be this is a Z Jawbreaker Flex Raptor, which, they feel so good. But it's all the Lynchburg guys snowball fighting the Abominable Snowman. So very cool stamp.
Yeah.
I'll save the other two for another day.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, guys.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely sign up. A couple things that I'll also say, just to keep your eyes and ears out for in the bag, folks. We like to give you all a little peek behind the curtain above everybody else, because we can do that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So the prototype disc that got released in the November box is coming around. We're getting ready to do the first run. That will be happening soon. Also, Robbie, I don't know. Are you going to Disc East this year, or is that still up in the air?
Still up in the air. Yeah. Low chances, because I've got travel in the first 3 weeks of January already. Right. So it would be just basically like every weekend I'm just sleeping at my house.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. January is tough for all of us too. We have other stuff going on, but the guys will be up at Disc East. We're going to do some special releases up there. I won't say exactly what they are yet, but stuff you've never been able to get before. So keep an eye out there. We're also working on a special disc for Con. So make sure you keep an eye and ear out for that as well. And then, I will say my commitment to everybody is the sub boxes are going to keep getting better and better each year. So I don't know. That's a pretty high ceiling, or a pretty high expectation, because I feel like this year a lot of effort and time and love went into those boxes, but we're going to continue to do that. But yeah, just keep an eye out there. There's not a ton of drops. We'll have like some Prodigy next week. We'll have some Discraft with some Innova. that will drop next week. But other than that, we're almost done with drops for the year.
Yeah, it's crazy. We are a little over 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, we only have 2 Thursdays left in 2025.
Crazy. Where did the year go?
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild, wild, wild. Well, y'all, we appreciate you. Go grab your disc. Go use that foundation care when you buy a Sten on Sunday, or that drops on Monday.
Well,
on Sunday or Monday.
Monday,
yeah.
they'll be available on our site for sure.
Yeah, you go grab that Sten on Monday. And remember, if it's good,
keep in the bag. We'll see you all next week.